You want? Yeah, they're used to me doing an open. Okay. Um, let me first of all thank St. Jude and Memphis, University of Memphis, the city of Memphis, that made this happen for those 40 players that walked on the floor. You don't realize that when you get away, they look back, and when that kind of stuff happens, it's like it is a big deal. You should have seen him at dinner last night. I made my team be in the same room so that they could see the interaction. We went through so much together here. It doesn't go away. Look, we could talk all we want. Well, you're at this school, you're at that school. It's all about relationships with your players and with the people that help you in the program. That's what it's about, and it showed. But I'm telling you, it wouldn't have happened if the University of Memphis did not want this to happen, or St. Jude wouldn't say, yes, let's tie this all together. What a great crowd for St. Jude's. We were over there today. We invited some of the kids. They didn't, they were here at the game. I'm not good in that setting because I have children. It's just hard for me. I'm just being honest. I go over and tell me your story, but I'm about ready to cry. So, but for my team to go there and see that and understand no one pays. They take care of you. They fly you in. They do this. They told them today we only have 68 beds. They said, how many beds do you think? One of my guys said 10,000 because I see all these buildings. There's 68 beds. It's about research. It's about dealing with the kids there. It's about having them not in a hospital setting, in an environment that they can heal and not be in a hospital, but be with their families. Unbelievable what they do. My players got to see it. The players that came back, like I told my guys before the game, if you care about one another and really care, that's what you'll be like 20 years from now. If you don't care about each other, you're not going to be this way. And my guys, I asked them, they came on the court at our practice yesterday, and I said in front of my team and them, could these guys that I'm coaching now play for me if I coached the way I coached you? They went, no way they could. But they said, for 2 months you killed us, and we became dogs, and then the rest of it was fun because we just went after people. But it's not their natural instincts. And I'm trying to get these guys. How about Billy Richmond? I mean, this kid, he even made Carter Knox step up and start blocking shots because Carter's like, ooh, maybe he's better than me. Yeah. And so, but getting away from that, again, the university doing what they did for those players and being kind to me, they don't need to be kind to me. They don't. And they were. And I'm truly appreciate it. But I'm telling you, the players that came back loved it. And even more now connected to this city and the university. Is that good enough start?
Hey, Cal, this is your home. This is yours.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Malik after the Cincinnati game. But
Ooh, he was good.
Malik Thomas, yeah. I thought you said who, my bad.
No.
I know you got 2 Maliks now, but yeah. But for him to be one of the big catalysts for your comeback in the first half and to have the performance he did and an environment like that, I guess just what does that say about him as a freshman, and how ready he is for the big stage?
Well, we were down 3 at half. We were down 15, 16, 17, whatever it was. I never even looked up. I just knew we were down. But I did know that at one point, maybe 8 minutes ago, we had 14 points. And then he went crazy, and Billy started blocking, and all of a sudden we made the game. It became a game. The second half, how about the start of the second half? They make 2 threes. And I've been fighting for these kind of games, exhibition games, for 10 years. Why don't we play each other? What? Because we don't. And that's why this stuff is all breaking up, because we weren't making decisions that were the best for the kids. Wasn't this good for both teams? I mean, they came out. It looked like it was going to be 20, which tells them they're good enough. And for us to be able to come back and do what we did, it tells us, how good do you want to be? You fought. You didn't fight. They outfought us at the beginning of the game, even the first start of the second half. And then we battled and negated that, and we could play basketball. But, how many turnovers do we end up having? Think about it. In a game like that, as fast as it was, we only had 14 turnovers. What's that? Most of them first half.
You mentioned the 2 threes they hit, took that 9-point lead early second half, outscored them 33 the rest of the way. What was it that turned the game around for Arkansas? I know early first half, but then second half.
We just, at halftime, I said, guys, this is every game we're going to play. You end up being like the Super Bowl. They're going to come out of the gate like this team. And you know what? You fought them off. Do you think the first 5-6 minutes, they're going to come after us? Yes. So be prepared. But you just have to sustain and keep going and get into their legs. And the biggest thing is be unselfish. Now, we had a couple guys took some crazy shots. 1-on-3, shoot it. The best one was my 6'3"er jumped into the 7'2"er and threw his body in like he was going to get the shot. I've never seen a kid block with his elbows. He went like that, and the ball went into his elbows. Like, what are you doing? Thought I could make it. No, obviously you couldn't. But it's that kind of stuff they need to experience. And the only way, the first 2 games, the games we played, those exhibition, were great experiences for this team. Malik Ewing got better today. We need him to have a impact on games. TB, second half. First half, he wasn't very good. Second half, very good. Carter Knox finishes the game very strong. But Malik Thomas, woo. I mean, I grabbed him today. If you ever saw him play in high school, he dribbled the ball 15 times on each possession, spun twice, went between, and then shot off the weak leg. You didn't see any of that. You see him a downhill runner, catch and shoot, making the easy pass, seeing him defend. Last game, he was our leading rebounder. I mean, it's a freshman.
Hey, Coach, in today's college game, you had a successful season last year. How important is to have some pieces back from that team?
That's why we're where we are right now, because I have 4 guys back. That's why we're ahead of where we've been. Now, I've had to do it with new teams every year, so this is kind of unusual. But we were so good defensively the first game. I'm like, how can we be this far? Well, there are 4 guys that know what we're doing. And then the other guys are playing pretty good and playing hard, and 2 veterans, and all of a sudden, you got that mix. But look, we're ways away. I mean, our execution at times was awful. I think Malik Ewing may have had 5 assists, though. I think he did. Nick Pringle's doing what he's doing. I didn't put in Isaiah today. The game kind of got to where, I didn't want to have him stick in and change the game up, and then because I think he's going to be really good. I really think he's going to be good. And he could have done some things athletically in this game that you would have said, who is that guy?
Coach, right here in the back. I'm not sure if when you left 16 years ago, you ever thought you would have a night like this in this city again. I certainly know a lot of fan base probably never thought a night like this with you would happen again. Now that the last couple of days and weeks have gone the way they have, and you had this reception and were able to bring back the old players, now you've had that, are you open to putting Memphis on the schedule again, whether it's in this or non-conference at some point down the road?
Yeah, you're the 15th person that has asked me that. And, yeah, that's, here's what we got to wait on. Are we trying to go to 20 league games? Then it limits what we can do. But we have a home and away slot. Somebody came up to me today and said, why don't you play them in Little Rock? Okay, then I'm playing them in Mississippi. I mean, what do you think? I'm going to come in this building and they're going to go to Little Rock and play? So No, and Penny's been a friend. Penny was great to me when I coached here. Great to me. And I've always respected him. And, you know, he said some great stuff the other night. We had that dinner with at St. Jude. And, no, I appreciate it. But can I just say, everywhere I've been, when I've left, they are mad. They were mad at me at UMass. And then they kind of look back, and we had a pretty good run. And my guys, we all came back, and they're, you know, well, maybe not. Maybe the Kentucky thing, they were happy. I don't know. But you know what? Again, you have so many relationships when you leave. They don't go away. And in all the fan stuff or media stuff, you know, my whole thing, I just want to outlive all you. And then if I do that, that stuff goes away. And I'm like, you know, I am who I am. I haven't really changed much. I'm the same. You know, I don't swear as much. I don't, you know, the players think I'm soft and all that stuff. But, you know, I try to do things the same way. You know, caring about kids and just, you know, trying to do the right stuff. But coming back here and having that, you know, you would hope. We had a good run here. That was like ridiculous, some of the stuff we did. And you know who did it? I didn't make a basket. I didn't have an assist. It was the players that were on that floor. And did they put the others on the screen, the video? The ones that, and there's a couple others. Like, they just got to know we're all family. And we're together in this. And then you look at it where you're at a place and you have a run. It isn't just the players. It's the people that helped and who was involved. And here, I'm going to say this again. In this city, if people come together, they can solve whatever problem they want. But it's got to come from all corners, and they all got to come together. You can't expect government to solve problems. They're not going to. But if you come to – I was here. People jumped behind this program, and they were all in, both feet, and this thing took off. I'm trying to do the same at Arkansas. The guys that are here know I'm gathering people to be involved in this program. I went around, I'm trying to beg the fraternities and sororities, come on now. Let them leave 20 years from now and say, without us, they wouldn't have been on that kind of run. So when you do that, you know, I think at the end, you know, things will play out. And then they're facts and they're numbers, and facts and numbers kind of don't lie. They are what they are.
Coach, I got two questions for you. First one is, you coached Billy Richmond, his father, and now you're coaching him in his second year. What's it like to see his progression as a player?
I think Billy, I've coached, I think, 6 or 7 players who I coached their fathers. Now I'm coaching their sons. And I coached Kevin Knox, and now I'm coaching Carter Knotts. I'm kind of, because I was tough on kids. Anybody sit near the bench when I was here? So you knew I was kind of hard. Was I a little bit vocal? Just a little. Just a tiny bit. And they want their sons to play for me. I want you to think about that. Now, they want me to hold them accountable like I held them accountable. And it's kind of neat. And, you know, and then there's a couple guys that have like grandsons, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And one thing I'll tell you is I was a young coach. Like, I was 15 when I started, so don't think that it makes me old. But, you know, it's kind of neat to be able to do it. And they're all different. I was with DJ, his dad, and his dad's dad. We took a picture together. All 3 totally different. They're totally different players. And none of them, the other 2 didn't play as hard as DJ or defend or fight and do the stuff. They could play and shoot and do all that, but they didn't. I think Wani dove on the floor one time, first time in his life, and I dove with him because I couldn't believe he dove. So, you know, you're seeing that, and I think they know you care enough that, look, just care for my son like you cared for me. But I've been blessed.
And my last question is, Coach Penny Hardaway is in his year 8 of coaching, and this is your first year of coaching against him. How did you like going against him?
Well, I knew we better be prepared for them scrambling up the game and making this catches hard and bodying and being physical and, raking the ball and collapsing on defense. And, I've watched them play. They didn't run and switch like they have. We tried to prepare for that. We only had a day. We had the game Friday, so we had one day to do some of the stuff. But we were trying to prepare for that. And again, to play them the way they play and only have 14 turns, and most of them in the first half, pretty good. Pretty good. But they're winning a lot of games. Their guards are good. They can score. The bigs got length. They're physical. Now the question is, they bottle up what was about, 13, 14 minutes? Stretch that to 20, 22 minutes. Stretch it to 26 minutes. Stretch it to 32 minutes, and you beat anybody. Just got to play that way longer.
Yeah, I've also got a two-parter. The first one is, I know it's preseason, but what was kind of your live reaction to the team really struggling with that press?
No, I was happy. I was in the huddle saying, guys, this is what we need. Now, you're either going to figure it out. I'm going to try to – some of you are coming out because you're not fighting. But and that's all I said at halftime. This is what you want, because I got to figure out which of you can be in this kind of game and who can't, because you won't fight. You're not coming out. So we'll all figure this out, and either you'll fight through, which they did. I'm proud of them, or they don't, and you get beat by 25. I mean, you had to think we were going to get smashed when we're down 15, 16, 17, whatever it was. It was like, and it wasn't even a game. We missed dunks and layups. So it was good for us.
And right at the end, before you turned it around, you pulled Darius over and was talking to him. Do you remember what you were saying to him on the bench?
I said, listen, you're not shooting with 3 guys on you. Pass it to your teammate. You're not shooting on a 7-footer. And I told my whole team, stop talking to the officials. Those were SEC officials, and you're going to talk to them? They're not going to give you one call in our league. Just shut your mouth and play. And if they're being physical, how about you be physical? If they're trying to force their will on you, you force your will on them. It ain't about the official.
When you walked out there and got introduced, the way that the fans reacted to you with that cheering, what did that mean to you?
No, it was nice, and I think the university set that up by how they dealt with all this, and I appreciate that. But I said, I've been booed before. You won't believe this. So I've been booed. I just didn't want them to boo my wife. Did they introduce my wife by any chance? See, that's the only thing they slipped up on. But no, it was kind of neat. Guys, I've been doing this 30-some years, bearing down on 40. And, you go through stuff and, you just want to hope you're doing the right thing and treating people right and being right by the kids and holding them accountable. I can't do the work for them. If someone's better than you, that's not on me. I'm not promising you starter minutes. And that's how I've always done it. And the other side of it is I've always tried to get people involved. I thought it was important here. I've said it. I always laugh. How did we get it done here? We all got together. One person cannot do that. I don't care what. You can be the greatest coach ever. It's how do we all come together and know how important this is to the university, the city, and for us, our state. It's important for our state. But I'm not going to be able to do it by myself, especially in this environment, the new environment. Anything else? Question there? Nope, I'm not answering it. Anything else?
Cal, you've had 2 games now to kind of assess where your team is. What are some things that you're looking at right now that you have to clean up before you can open against?
Got to watch this tape, and I'll watch it and I'll pick out stuff. The biggest thing is, in my mind, the coach, Wes, is a good friend of mine, Miller, and he said, Cal, you physically can do stuff that most teams can't. Well, who did that to us today? Memphis. And then we came back and did it to them in the second half, which tells you we can be that kind of team. But that's hard. It tires you out. I'd rather use my bag of tricks. You know, let me try to steal a ball I have no chance of stealing and foul right before the half. Like what? You know, we just got to learn how we got to play. And the only way you learn is you go through stuff like this. Because they don't always believe me when I tell them you can't play that way. They're like, you don't understand. Wait till I show you. But you do this, they're like, ooh, maybe he's right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.